Alright, hello citizens of the Nigelverse. It's Nigel once again, and this is going to be another wrestling review. We are, of course, continuing our look at WrestleMania matches for the month of March as we barrel closer and closer towards WrestleMania season. And this one's an interesting one on a very classic WrestleMania rivalry slash match. A rivalry about a year or so in the making. But had her about a year or so in the making. But what happens when two friends slash allies become bitter rivals? Was over her jealousy, greed, and good old fashioned red and yellow? Let's find out. I'm of course talking about Hulk Hogan versus Macho Man Randy Savage at WrestleMania 5, aka the Mega Powers Exploding. Now, as always, I'm not professional wrestling reviewer or analyst or anything like that. Just a man who enjoys a good time, and for the most part, had a really good time with this match, I would say. So without further ado, let's get right into it. And if you've seen these reviews of mine before, you kind of already know how this works. If you haven't, I'm going to be talking about what I liked and disliked about the match. But at first, kind of the build up. So, the Mega Powers were officially bonded. It around I'm looking for the exact date slash year here, of course. In about 1988, it around on Mania time. Hey man, so yeah, around WrestleMania 4, so like I said, about a year in the making, and the Mega Powers were, of course, the union between Hulk Hogan and Macho Man Randy Savage, including that iconic just dual handshake from the two. But over time, and heading towards this match, things began to deteriorate. Macho Man, and at least in terms of storyline, became somewhat jealous of Hogan and all the attention he was giving Elizabeth and the attention Miss Elizabeth was reciprocating, which led to that iconic moment and where Hogan carries he's Miss Elizabeth. He is taken out. I forget exactly who took her out in the match. Involving the Mega Powers, or it was a tag team match. I forget exactly who was involved, but Miss Elizabeth was taken out. Hogan carried her to the back, and that's when all hell broke loose. Macho Man and accusing Hogan of trying to steal Elizabeth, saying, there's jealousy, there's lust in your eyes, and Hogan trying to convince him before Macho Man officially snaps, attacking Hogan as Miss Elizabeth screams in the background. So, things definitely deteriorating heading into this match, and of course, there's those iconic promos, was Macho Man accusing Hogan of a lot of stuff, being incredibly intense, as Macho Man normally does, and Hogan trying to refute the claims. He's pretty much like, again, Hogan trying his best to dissect each claim from Macho Man, saying, no, you got it all wrong, it's not like this, you're manipulating the footage, it's actually like this. It's like when Macho Man was trying to say, Hogan loved Elizabeth and stuff, and Hogan was like, no, I said I loved her like a sister, just like I loved you as a brother, Macho Man. So definitely that back and forth leading into this match, and I think the story all told is told well throughout the match. Not as much flash as is known for between Hogan and Macho Man, especially on the part of Macho Man, but definitely more of a fight feel, including Hogan being busted open, which I missed exactly how he got busted open, but he is busted open. He is sporting some color, but. But definitely that fight feel, both men really going after each other, especially Macho Man going after Hogan. Elizabeth's caught in the crossfire on the outside, and Macho Man constantly moving her out of the way, shoving her out of the way, pulling her out of the way. Going more so to show Macho Man's full descent into madness, including what ultimately causes Miss Elizabeth to be dejected, although I imagine that was the referee ejecting her for her own safety. He is Hogan about to ram Macho Man into the turnbuckle. But Miss Elizabeth is standing there. She really doesn't want to see either man get hurt. Like I said, she's really caught in the middle of this. But Hogan's like, no, move out of the way, Elizabeth. I gotta run in. But Macho Man jumps off the shoulder of Hogan, like reverses it, and then launches Hogan in there. He doesn't care whether Elizabeth is there or not. And Elizabeth almost gets hurt, and that's when she gets ejected. And then the match doesn't last too much longer from there, but as Hogan does put Macho Man away, with of course the big boot and the leg drop after hulking up and everything, but yeah, so that story, it's very much more about the story. Like the match is what it is. The match isn't bad, but it's definitely the story that carries it. Like the story, the emotions, the storyline implications of the match is really what puts it over the top, and you see it with the mannerisms and how things play out with Macho Man being, for lack of a better term, and with no pun intended, savage towards Hogan, and really wanting to rip him apart, tear him apart, even when he's got the cut above his eye. And Macho Man like exploiting the cut, trying to like rip at it and stuff, and Hogan really trying to fight for survival and fighting against Macho Man, and including Hogan doing some, I don't necessarily want to say full on underhanded, but kind of a little bit a little bit of sneaky tactics, including pulling Macho Man's tights to the outside. Had a rare, or kind of a rare heel stuff for Hogan before he actually turned heel, but he had to do what he had to do to fight against Macho Man. So I guess it's forgiven, perhaps, but yeah, so that story being told is really what makes this match memorable. And right afterwards, Hogan gets the ring to himself. Macho Man is going to the back. He's walking to the back with the security, the Trump security, because you are at Trump Plaza, and Hogan gets the ring all to himself. Without getting into it just yet, because we're gonna save that for later. Tell us how you really feel. But yeah, so. The storyline implications and the storytelling throughout the match is really what puts over the edge. And of course, both Hogan and Macho Man definitely known for their storytelling throughout the match, and it definitely. I think pays dividends here, and including Hogan kicking out at 1.5, because of course he does, of the elbow drop, which they put over in commentary. He no one's ever done, or very few people have ever done, but yeah, but I guess speaking of which, let's bring it up now. One of the things I didn't like, the commentary was kind of annoying. So it is Gorilla Monsoon and Jesse Ventura. And granted, Gorilla Monsoon more supposed to be the face commentator, her like leaning towards the faces and calling the heels out when they do bad things. Meanwhile, Jesse Ventura is more so on the side of the heels, making excuses and everything. But they squabble quite a bit. They argue like an old married couple, and it does get pretty annoying. Throughout the match, like just listening to them constantly bicker and squabble, that does get pretty annoying, and especially with Jesse Ventura kind of just making stuff up as well. But them constantly arguing, them constantly going back and forth. Like back and forth banter on commentary is normal, and I'd even argue is not always bad, but it does get pretty annoying here in this match, with them constantly arguing. But yeah, other than that, it's still a solid match carried by the story. But what if I told you there was some real life implications behind the story as well? So, Macho Man and Hogan didn't necessarily like each other on camera, but they apparently didn't like each other off camera either. Like their feud has been and that is off camera, behind the scenes, has been very public, because Macho Man really was like very cautious, thinking Hogan was trying to steal Elizabeth away. And really believing that Hogan was out to essentially ruin their relationship. But apparently they had buried the hatchet before Macho Man passed away, but that is disputable as well. But claims like that, and Macho Man kind of being in Hogan's shadow and everything. I don't necessarily know about that one, but definitely the first one, and cautious around Elizabeth. And Macho Man really didn't want Miss Elizabeth in the business anyway, because he knew stuff like that would happen, or at least he feared stuff like that would happen. But obviously, she got involved anyway. But yeah, so stuff like that really drove a wedge between the mega powers. So sadly, rivalry on and off screen, and yeah, so it led to that tension, but at least they were still able to work together here. And of course, unfortunately, Macho Man and Miss Elizabeth would divorce in 1992. over this and other issues, which does suck and it's really unfortunate. But nevertheless, that's going to do it for this review. Thank you all so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If you did, please do me a favor: like, comment, subscribe, share with your friends, turn on post notifications so you know every time I upload videos. You can see as soon as it drops, and let me know in the comments your thoughts on the match and my review. Did you like the match? Do you like my review of the match? Let me know. Thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you guys later. Peace.